This video is going to be the first video in an ongoing series where I'm going to do a kind of a long-term use and evaluation and review of a survival knife, maybe we'll call it a survival knife system, that has become pretty controversial in at least in the YouTube survival community. But I'm talking about the MSK1 from David at Ultimate Survival Tips. So we're going to take an initial look at this knife coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Oh, and yes, we're going to balance test it. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So, as I said, I'm going to be taking an initial look at this survival knife system from Ultimate Survival Tips. It is the MSK1, and David at Ultimate Survival Tips. Full disclosure, I'm proud to kind of call him a friend. I met him several years ago at SHOT Show. He's been extremely nice, extremely helpful to me, and he worked on this and came up with this knife design. We're going to talk about that as we go. And I said this was controversial. I think one of the main reasons, there's two main reasons in my opinion, this has become a very controversial knife. First of all, because of the price, because it ain't cheap. We'll be right up front about that. It ain't cheap. This setup, as you see it, retails for about $492. But it's also made in the USA. All the components, everything is USA made. I think it's very high quality. And the second thing is, the reason it's become so controversial, I think, is because David has got some really, really great, serious production skills. And the promo video he made for this, in my opinion, is equal to anything coming out of Hollywood. I mean, it's just a really good promo video. And so some people apparently thought that was overhyped or whatever. I don't know. This is the first. I've not used this knife yet. We're going to start it on camera. We're going to start the process right here. You're going to get to see me. We're going to put it's got a survival kit that goes in the handle from the folks at Wazoo Survival, which you've seen on the channel before, make really, really high quality, very, mini survival items. We're going to talk about the features of this thing, do a little bit of initial testing, just to kind of give you my initial impression about it, and then stick with me because this is going to be, again, the first in a series of videos about the MSK1. We're going to do an MSK1 playlist, and we're going to talk about this thing ongoing over the next several months. We're going to use it. I'm going to use it and with the Boy Scouts, going to use it fooling around in the woods, whatever, and we'll just see how well this thing holds up and how well it performs. And we can compare my initial impressions with my later term impressions, and man, hopefully it'll help you just take a look at it and see if you think it's all hype or if it's a really great knife and a great setup. So without me rambling anymore, let me take you down to the old stump top. We'll talk about the specs of this thing. We'll do a little knife stuff, and we'll get this series kicked off. Okay, here we are, and I've got some notes here because this it's available in several different configurations. David originally released this knife on a Kickstarter. I know it took him a long time, longer than he intended, to get everything put together. But after speaking to him, I mean, he really was trying to make sure that everything was the best quality he could get, and for what his design was, and to not cut corners. So some of the things he had to wait on, they just had production issues on some of the items. So anyway, just let me give you the kind of rundown. We'll take a look at what's in this box. This is survival kit stuff that goes in it, and this is actually a Paracord Wrap for the mini knife. So I'm going to talk about exactly what this particular system is, and then so this is the Ultimate Survival Bundle, is what he's calling this one. So first, let's take a look at the knife. So this is the knife right here. It's kind of a different shape, different kind of unique shapes, kind of heavier here to give you a little extra chopping mass. This knife has an overall length of 11.3 inches. I don't have the weight on it right now. I'll get that for you and put it in one of the next videos. But it's 11.3 inch overall, full tang, with kind of a different clip point style blade, and the point is in center line. So for boring and drilling, it just gives you a little better control there. But it's a 1/4 inch thick, American-made D2 steel with a black coating, and I've heard some people say this is a hollow grind. To me, I'll be honest with you, it feels more like a saber grind. If it's a hollow grind, it's very, very, very slightly hollow. I can't tell that. And maybe you can see it from here. It may be just a little. It's hard to tell because of the way this choil thing comes around here. So Not sure, but we're just gonna see how well it performs. Again, this is U.S. made D2 steel. Has canvas micarta handles right there. And this is a tan one. He's got different color handles available. And then it's held together with these screws, and I'll show you that in a minute, because inside here there's two pockets that you can put some survival kit items in. Has a reversible steel bow drill divot, so you can put it on either side depending on whether you're right or left-handed. Kind of a sharpened striker area here on the pommel. It's got a little bit of really subdued jimping here, not at all sharp. I'm not usually a big fan of jimping. This doesn't bother me because it's enough to be helpful, but it certainly is not at all uncomfortable. And it's got a nice rounded, smooth, comfortable choil here for choking up, which allows you to get the length and the mass towards the end for chopping, but still you can get close up for doing some finer work. A couple of lashing holes here and here for different lanyard styles, or even for making a spear out of it. That's pretty much it for the knife. We're going to take a look at the handle in just a minute. We'll put that aside. And then this particular kit, the Ultimate Survival Bundle, also comes with this hybrid, and it's basically a polymer and nylon sheath that this thing fits in it really well, and it snaps in pretty good. But then it's got I think this is almost like a rubber retention strap that goes over like that also. And then push it out there. It's got some different attachments on back. You can attach this on Molly or whatever and thread it through there. See, it's made in the USA. Pretty cool. And then this kit also has the MSK Mini Knife with the attachable sheath on here. And pull this one out. This is 154 cm, made in the USA. And it has the skeletonized handle, but they also, you can give you the paracord. You can do a paracord wrap on it. And he's got videos on the website, step-by-step instructional videos showing you how to wrap this thing, how to do a paracord wrap on it. I kind of like it just like that. Very, very kind of compact, but paracord wrap just gives you a way to have a little better handle and have some extra paracord. And then he's also got a 1/4 inch ferro rod or fire steel for a cerium rod on the other side, and it fits in there really well. Nice handle on it, very well made, and it clips there. And then this one also includes the removable, expandable pouch for putting a lot of other survival gear in it if you want to. And then it got this double D-ring, very nice belt loop. Man, it's like super secure. Got some lashing points here. You can connect this thing a lot of different ways. So there's the sheath, and there's everything to do with the knife. Now, I think one of the things I think is really cool about this knife is it comes with a survival kit. So, first of all, I don't know if they all have Skittles in it, but mine had Skittles in it, which is pretty cool. I mean, who doesn't like Skittles, right? Nice little survival energy. And then it's got so it's got a lanyard with a little pop-off lanyard clasp to make a neck knife out of the small one if you want to take this sheath off here and use it for a neck knife. Also has the paracord in here to make a paracord wrap for the MSK Mini. So let's put that aside for now. But what's really cool, and I think what really attracted me to this knife, to be honest with you, is the fact that one of the features it has is the survival kit. And this is the survival kit from the folks at Wazoo Survival. And you know I like Wazoo Survival. They make really, in my opinion, the best quality, mini survival kit stuff that I have ever seen. Okay, so can you see me now? Since this is kind of an all-purpose knife, I'm going to try to do a little chopping. I'm going to see if I can chop this into a splittable, manageable length, and then we'll do a little bit of batoning. We're just going to initial testing here, so let's just see how well it chops. This is very dry wood. There we go. Okay, hard stuff. Do a little batoning now because I want to. It's about a 4.5 inch blade, so it's not a huge batoner, not a huge knife, but I think it should do this okay. hard stuff too, man. Let's try one more. By the way, the melodious sounds you may hear in the background are my son Luke, who is my cameraman at all my show videos, kind of breaking in his brand new Fender Stratocaster that he got for his 21st birthday. Okay, so not bad there, I have to say, I think. So I'm not even sure what kind of wood this is. I thought it was poplar, but I don't think it is. I don't know what it is. I think the humidity is about 140% here in Georgia right now, so bear with me. Yeah, it's not look like, does not look like poplar to me. Definitely not good featherable wood. We're going to give it a shot and see what we can do. This is what we had, so I'm going to use this one piece of wood that we started with and see what we can do. That should be enough to do a little demo here. Take the old ferro rod that comes with her. Try to see if we can do it safely, because you really don't want to take a chance on injuring yourself if you are in a survival situation. Let's move you out of the way. So we got the knife in the sheath, and we'll do the old brace and pull method. Oh wow. It does put out some good spark for sure. I think this wood's a little wet. Let me just show you something here. One of the things that I always recommend you have, you can put in this little pouch right here, is some fat wood. You knew I couldn't hardly make a video without some fat wood, didn't you? Let me just show you why I love me some fat wood. Gosh, I don't know what the heck's wrong with this thing. I'm trying to chop some of these up. Oh, look at that! Finally, you might have something going on here. Okay, yeah. Woo! There we go. Finally, perseverance. And just kind of show you, by the way, this one will do. Let me see if I can take some of these right here and try this one. A lot of sparks from that right there. But as you can see, it's kind of damp. So anyway. So that's kind of like the initial use testing of the MSK1 Ultimate Survival Kit. Let's do a little more scientific testing now. Okay, so once again, that was some of the initial real-world testing. Some as far as chopping goes, you know, for this size knife, which is more of a compact than some bigger choppers, it actually did a pretty good job. This little bit of a curve here on the handle really lets you get that kind of a nice swing grip to it. For batoning medium-sized wood, which is pretty much all I would recommend trying to baton in a survival type situation, it did great. It's got enough of a width to really split the wood out pretty good. that choil does allow you to kind of, you know, choke up and really get some fine carving done. And these jimping is just subdued enough and round enough on the back, it doesn't hurt your hand, web of your thumb. I like the fact that it's got that survival kit in it. It really did a good job of striking the ferrule rod. Just to, I guess my wood was wet, so to speak. And when your wood's wet, that's a problem. Same thing with the back of this, the little one, MSK Mini, which we haven't even. We'll do some like knife tests with this one next time. I'm running out of time, but it did a good job of striking. But I would be remiss if I didn't include some footage here from our state-of-the-art cutting-edge knife testing facility here at Survival on Purpose Worldwide headquarters. And we especially like to always check things out on the balance, orientation, and rotation device to make sure this knife is balanced, because I know and you know that it's a critical factor of any survival knife or any edge tool at all. So, and I've not calibrated this. Calibration is really important on the balance, orientation, and rotation device, but we'll just see what happens. So we'll leave that one in just to show you that I did miss and hit it pretty good and didn't break anything yet. So 2 calibration attempts. Let's see if we got it right this time. One more time. Okay, we're going to call this one balance. I think I left the calibration throws in because you can see, even though it's got a bolt-on handle, everything's good. It's not epoxy. Nothing's broken. We did bang this handle pretty hard a couple of times. So, got to say, initially, I like this knife. Just kind of to wrap this video up. Like I said at the beginning, since David released this knife on Kickstarter, I think, gosh, over a year ago now, I think. It took him a while to get all the parts and pieces together. I know people were very patient waiting on this thing to get in. It's been pretty controversial, primarily, I think, because of the price, because it's not a cheap knife. Like I said, the setup as we showed is about 500 bucks almost. And I think also, honestly, just because he absolutely did a really great job in his promo video, and people said he was overhyping the knife. And by the way, there are people that I know and respect their opinions that have said that have just kind of really pretty much dissed on this knife and put it down. What I decided to do in this video series is just use the thing, see how well it works, put it through its paces, and instead of theorizing about what the perfect survival knife should be, or the ultimate survival knife should be, because I think that's been part of the criticisms. You're going to call it ultimate survival knife, it should meet these certain criteria, and we're just going to see how well the thing works and how well it stands up and how well the whole kit stands up. And probably even use some of the survival stuff in here in one of the videos. This will be an ongoing series, and I don't know how long it's going to last. It's probably going to take a while for me to get through all this stuff, because I want to use it for a while, and I don't want to rush this. I want to really put this through its paces. I would imagine you're looking at least a year. And hopefully be a few videos over that period of time. We'll revisit it and just see how well this thing holds up and how well it performs. So once again, thanks to David at Ultimate Survival Tips for hooking me up with this knife so I could test and evaluate it over a long term and show it to you. Again, stay tuned to Survival on Purpose. We're going to be a whole series on this knife, interspersed over the next several months to a year or so. Just going to really check this thing out. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a brand new video every Friday and Saturday, and very often random videos throughout the week. You can check out another one right here. And if you're not subscribed, please click right down there in the corner, subscribe. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with all your friends. I really appreciate the support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident. So be prepared. I'll see you next time.